Hi everyone, so on today's video we are going to do an introduction to Adobe Illustrator. This is a great program for anything dealing with line work. Essentially it's a vector-based program, so oftentimes we'll bring in line work from AutoCAD or Rhino or Revit and begin to alter the line colors, line weights, maybe add some imagery in the background, so it's a great tool for your visuals. So here I'm just going to introduce you to the interface so you'll get a sense of how to navigate the program. So first things first, if you're starting out, you can go to File, New. Here you can choose the artboard that you're looking to work with. So typically we'll have maybe a letter or tabloid size. These are kind of standard sizes. And the funny thing with this program is it goes by points or picas sometimes, so you might want to change the units so that it's one that you're more familiar with, whether it's inches or millimeters. So you can see it's 8.5 by 11. You can choose the orientation, so portrait or landscape here. And then everything else, I'm good with keeping it default, so I'm just going to hit create. And then here you go. This is what's called an artboard. An artboard is essentially the page. You can also add more of these pages. So you can have more than one page or artboard in the entire document. I can show you how to add that later. But in any case, these are all your standard toolbars. If you don't see a screen like this, you can go to the top right here, and there are a lot of default kind of interface or toolbars kind of available depending on how you're using the program. I'm pretty happy with Essentials Classic, but you can see what Essentials looks like. Some of the toolbars disappear. Let's see, typography. So that kind of changed some of the things around here. Anyways, I'm going to go back to Essentials Classic. So you can see on the left-hand side, that's the main ribbon where a lot of your commands are going to be. So you can see, line segments, different shapes. You can hold and click, and this will have various shapes. So if you see a bit of a small arrow on the bottom right, that means there are other tools or commands available if you kind of click and hold. There's the selection tool, again, text. So those are the basic ones. You can always hover over it to see what that command is. Again, press and hold, and you can see the other ones available. So yeah, paintbrush, line, pen tool, very common things. On the top is some commands that you can use to change the color. This is the fill. So if you have shape, the inside fill color, the kind of border color, the border weight, so how thick that line is, and then the type of line being used and how thick that is, or the stroke. This is your stroke. Opacity, if you want your fill color to be solid or slightly transparent, you can change that. So let's just click on one, for example. Here's the rectangle tool. Click, hold, and drag, and then release. So you can see my fill right now is white, but if I click on this, I can make it red. I can change this color to, say, green, change the thickness so you can see that a little bit better, right? Right now it's 100% opaque. If I change this to 50%, you can kind of see through it. So there's that. The pen tool, you can kind of just click different points and then go back to selection, select the shape. You can remove the fill if you only want the line. The direct select here can kind of click on these points and then allow you to kind of adjust these points directly. So that's how you can do it. On the right-hand side here, we have additional commands. Some of the favorites I like is the stroke command here. So if you click on this line, the stroke toolbar, you can see I can change the line weight. I can add an arrowhead. I can change the size of the arrowhead if I'd like. You can change it to dashed lines if you'd like. So you can play around with this. Again, you can change the line weight, so the thickness. That's great. So you can see here there are additional kind of tools you can use. Gradient. So if you want to use a fill that isn't just a solid color, you can have a gradient fill. Let's just choose that. And you can change how those colors are. If you want it to be black or say another color, you can change that. So play around with it. It's just a matter of trying out the different tools available. Here's the color swatch command, so you can choose and create your own palette of colors depending on how you want to use different colors in your project. And another thing is the layers tool. I just want to kind of quickly show you that. So you can organize different things so that you can have objects one in front of the other. For example, I changed this line on layer 2, which is above layer 1. So if I move this over, it's naturally going to be on top. Now if I move this below, it's going to be below that layer, right? So you can always do that. And you can always switch things onto another layer by clicking the object. You can begin to see which layers it's on, and then you can click on that node and drag it to the layer that you want it to be on. The next thing I want to show you is the align command. So let's say you have a couple of these objects, right? Let's say you want them to be centered. You can select the objects and then align them center like this. That's great. You can align them left, right? So let's say they're different size. You can align them left, center, or right with the quick and easy tool. You can also have a bunch of shapes, and then you can distribute them evenly by the center or the left point. That one's a bit hard to see, but you can see horizontal distribute center, yeah. You can align them center as well, so that's a fun tool. Align. If you don't have this command, you can go to Window and then find various toolbars available. So this is the align toolbar right here. And then I mentioned artboards. If you want to add another one, you can click on this command here, or Shift O, and then you can add the click on this plus, and then it'll change. You'll add this new artboard. You can change the size if you want. Tabloid. I'm going to make it back to letter if you'd like. And then when it comes time to exporting, let's say you have multiple artboards, you can go File, Export, Export As. And then you can choose the artboards. So I can choose, artboard 1 or 2. You can choose which ones you want to print. You can export all of them. And you can choose what type of file type you want to export to. So if you want to continue to be able to edit them in the future, I would recommend a PDF or an AI kind of file to save as. If you're exporting just as an image, PNG is fine, so you could do that. But if you're going to file save, I would just make sure it's an AI or a PDF file, so that will allow you to continue to edit the shapes and line work. Alright, this is a very quick tutorial, but hopefully that gets you started in terms of navigating and testing out the different tools available. Make sure that you use one of these standard layouts. Essentials Classic is what I'd recommend. Feel free to play around the shapes, the line types, and some of the fun tools on the right hand side here to help you organize the different layers and whatnot. So let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that I skipped out on that you'd like me to dive deeper on. Until next time, thanks for watching, and feel free to follow us for more design tips on architectural software, design, real estate, and we'll share some of the future projects that we're working on. Okay, thanks everyone.